All right, ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are coming into this brief on this big blue spaceship hurling around a flaming ball of fire in the sky. Welcome aboard our special live trade brief called Trading the Death Star. And we'll get into why I called the Death Star here in a couple minutes. But welcome aboard. A lot of new faces, which is good. Saw a lot of registrations from social media and stuff. Good. Awesome. Yep. A lot of people checking in. Welcome aboard, folks. I'll explain who I am and all sorts of stuff in a little bit, but make sure you turn off the distractions, man. Give me an hour, 45 minutes to an hour, and then get distracted and go on your way. So silence your electronic nicotine. Why no distractions? Because you've never heard what I'm about to tell you. Like I saw a lot of, we got a lot of new leads from social media because it really is something it's the exact opposite of what you've been told for a long time. And a lot of you are going to kind of look at the screen sideways. So trading the Death Star, how do you trade the Death Star? Well, you trade the Death Star. First of all, what's the Death Star, right? I got kids. Hell, I was a kid when the first Star Wars came out, right? But the Death Star, that giant space station owned by the dark side that literally took over the universe, man. Hey, it got attacked a couple times. I think it blew it up a couple times, but it always came back, right? I'm pretty sure it did. But anyway, that's the stock that I call the Death Star. The thing gets attacked randomly, gets a little blown up, shrugs it off, and then keeps on taking over the market. And that's the stock that we're going to talk about today. The only stock you need to own. And again, if that hits you weird, like that doesn't make sense, you've been lied to, and we'll talk about that. But we're going to start with a little aviation first. Which fighter aircraft would you rather fly? What's this have to do with trading? Everything. Trading is a form of combat, ladies and gentlemen. Somebody's going to win, and somebody's going to get their ass handed to them. Which one do you want to be? Winner? Then why don't you use the same methodologies, tools, techniques that we use flying a fighter aircraft and trading? Look at that. Folks, that's an F4 Phantom. Now, I'm not going to out some of my TGO members, but some of them are old. I'm not going to say old, senior enough to have flown this aircraft, the F4 Phantom. Ladies and gentlemen, in that, first of all, looking at that cockpit gives me agita. It makes me shake a little bit. Over 300 switches, dials in that cockpit. A very labor-intensive aircraft, folks. The pilot would spend a lot of what we call heads down time looking at all this stuff instead of eyeballs out of the cockpit, looking for an enemy MiG or surface air missiles, SAMs, or AAA anti-aircraft artillery. Matter of fact, this was so labor-intensive, they threw another dude in the back seat to just run the radar. So very labor-intensive. Would you rather fly this aircraft or that one? 2 flat panel displays. That's the F-35, the Lightning II, the Joint Strike Fighter. I'm actually going to see this jet do a demo this weekend up in Lakeland, Florida, where I bring our No Fallen Heroes Foundation jet up for the air show. But look at that, 2 flat panel displays. This is the Wonder Woman jet, folks. It's invisible to radar. Matter of fact, and you can see over here, the stick and the throttles have a cover on them. Why? Because there's top secret shit on those stick and throttles. They don't want to show people. But 2 flat panel displays. This jet actually limits the amount of information that it displays to the pilot because it's like, you know what? The pilot doesn't need to know this at this point. I'm going to keep that to myself. The helmet, wait until you see the helmet looks like. It looks like Darth Vader. Everything is projected up on the helmet. If there's an enemy aircraft out there, I can see it. If there's a surface air missile, they put a bubble around it, like, don't fly in here. It's kind of idiot proof. And you would be creeped out even more. This jet is learning. All the F-35s flying around the world from Israel to Norway. It's all the knowledge is all getting put into a database. So it becomes self-aware and kills all of us one day. But that's down the road. Ladies and gentlemen, and there's your Darth Vader helmet. Look at that. So which fighter aircraft would you rather fly? What's this have to do with trading? Everything. Because I'm going to show you the only stock you need to trade. Not 300 switches and dials, 2 flat panel displays, ladies and gentlemen. So my promise, by the end of this brief, I'm going to give you an up-to-date intelligence brief. You got to talk about what's going on. I mean, we had a bank hearing today. Market's starting to roll over a little bit. You got to know what's going on. So I'll give you an up-to-date intelligence brief. I'm going to show you the only stock you need to own and, potentially a good substitute to trade if you feel like you need to. You ready for it? Here's the word we're going to make fun of today. Diversify. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know me, which a lot of you don't, because we do have a lot of new leads coming in, my name is Matthew Buckley. My call sign is Wiz. My parents didn't name me Wiz. I earned that call sign flying the F-18 Hornet for the United States Navy for about 15 years, graduated from the Navy Fighter Weapons School. That's really a lot of words for Top Gun, where I was an adversary pilot. I was a bad guy pilot. And I did 2 deployments on board the Abraham Lincoln and the Kitty Hawk, enforcing the no-fly zone over southern Iraq, Operation Southern Watch. Also was mobilized for Operations Noble Eagle and Enduring Freedom. Very short airline career. Morning of September 11th was my first and last day at work at American Airlines. So I decided to go to Wall Street instead. But as a young aviator, right, you don't join the military to get rich. You join the military to serve your country, fly fighter jets, see the world, all that stuff. But I was always interested in finance. Other folks were sitting there in the ready room drinking coffee and, playing foosball or talking about drinking at the officers club. I didn't. I applied everything I was learning to investing, to trading. I knew I wasn't getting rich in the Navy, and I also knew I wasn't going to be an admiral, so I'm probably going to have to get out eventually. So everything I was learning as a fighter pilot, I applied to my trading. Having a strategy, implementing tactics, contingency planning, managing risk. Managing risk, you're a fighter pilot off a ship. Yeah, that's dangerous enough without being stupid or not minimizing all known risks, right? So I applied that to my trading. It worked with incredible results. I got hired. I got picked up to go work right there at that trading firm in the Chicago. You should all recognize that building if you've watched Batman, right? That's the Chicago Board of Trade, one of our centers of gravity of capitalism. I helped build a hedge fund when I was there. I helped build the retail brokerage Options House. Hell, I wrote the name up on the whiteboard for Options House when we picked it. And it was I had a blast. So I was the managing director of strategy for this multi-billion-dollar volatility arbitrage firm. And I was the founder and CEO of the Options News Network, ONN.TV. We were essentially the CNBC for options, right? John and Pete Najarian, who aren't on CNBC anymore, would pay lip service to options, right? Let's go to John and Pete for talk about those weird options things. So I started the Options News Network, which was 24/7 just options, and we had an absolute blast. We shot on the floor of the SIBO, the CBOT, and I showed you all a behind-the-scenes look at literally what was going on in the options market. So I like to tell people I'm Eddie Murphy. I'm Valentine from Trading Places. I taken off the street to the smart money, and I gotta be honest with you. Between us ladies, the smart money ain't that smart. Matter of fact, most of the smart money I knew was pretty stupid. And a matter of fact, in the past 2 or 3 weeks, you've found out once again that the smart money is actually very stupid. Wait, Silicon Valley Bank and other idiots, you didn't know that the Fed was going to eventually start raising interest rates, which would blow out your bond portfolio? Huh. I'm pretty sure my 15-year-old daughter, knew that the Fed was going to be. So anyway, the smart money ain't that smart. Let's just be honest. We are the smart money. As a matter of fact, we are smarter than a lot of the so-called smart money. Also wrote a couple books. One's called COVID Crash, From Panic to Profit. Literally, we predicted the COVID market crash to the day when Donald Trump looked on CNBC in Davos and lied to us like, China flu ain't coming here. Dumb question. I love Xi. Good dude. Great bat swing. Been to Mar-a-Lago. Love Xi. I looked into this camera and I said, get out of the market. Buy puts on the S&P 500. Get long volatility. And we made millionaires. Don't believe me? It's in my book. Also wrote a book From Sea Level to Sea Level about my journey from the cockpit essentially to the trading pit. And you can pick both of those up on Amazon. No Fallen Heroes podcast and project. So the No Fallen Heroes podcast is ranked in the top 2.5% of podcasts in the world. And then, of course, I had to Google. This is an old slide. There's like 3.1 million podcasts in the world, and my podcast is in the top 2.5%. So check out the Max Afterburner podcast when you get a chance on Spotify, iTunes, or Stitcher, or where all the cool kids listen to their podcasts. I started the No Fallen Heroes Foundation, which is a 501c3 charity dedicated to saving the lives of veterans, first responders, and their families with psychedelic-assisted therapy. Hell of a lot to talk about that. That ain't why we're here. I'm just giving you a little bit more of my bio. No Fallen Heroes Foundation owns the No Fallen Heroes Foundation doesn't own any fighter jets. I own them, but I use them to raise awareness for the No Fallen Heroes Foundation. I'll be taking one of our jets up to Lakeland, and we raise awareness. We took a jet out to Miramar, and I talked to maybe 10,000 people who didn't know that 44 veterans a day take their own lives. 44 veterans-ish a day. One veteran a day is too many. So we raise awareness with these aircraft to fundraise. We have another retreat coming up in May where we have to, unfortunately, go to Costa Rica or go to Mexico to heal our veterans. Why? Because if you do these medicines in the United States, you're a criminal. Let me let that sink in. If you're not familiar with me, a couple years ago, if you've ever seen the movie Lone Survivor or read the book, me and Marcus Luttrell and a couple other guys went down to Mexico, did this medicine, completely changed and saved my life. Okay, a lot more on that down the road. That's me and my family. That's actually us leaving Chicago. Why do I use this? Because I'm a lot older, and I love this picture because that's one of the happiest moments in my life. No offense. Chicago, you can keep it, man. Good people, but February walking from Union Station to the Board of Trade was a survival situation. You're like stepping over dead bodies and stealing scarves. I'm a beach guy. I'm a Navy guy, and I need a beach. So we live down here in God's Waiting Room, also known as Boca Raton, where we started Top Gun Options in 2009-ish. And we've been training thousands and thousands of folks just like you to be successful options traders. Enough of that. I had to do that. You're never going to hear that again unless you show up to another marketing brief, because I hate talking about me. I just like to get into this stuff. But if you ever go to one of these briefs and they jump right into the trading, like, hi, I'm Steve, and here's a trade, run. If you have no idea who that dude or that lady is, or their background or their bona fides, what are you doing? Anyway, so let's go ahead and get airborne, because like I said, you've never heard this before. You've heard the exact opposite. So this is going to be shocking to you, and it's not going to be shocking to you. How can it be two things at one time? Because it is. You ready for this? Wall Street is lying to you. No, exactly. Of course they are. They'd step over their own mother to make it buck. I've seen it. Another reason I left that scuzziness. I went from a fighter squadron where if you didn't trust a guy or a gal with your life, they were gone. In Wall Street, that's somehow like to be praised. Anyway, Wall Street's lying to you. Okay? How, Wiz, specifically, since I know they lie to me, how many of you have heard the saying, you can't put all your eggs in one basket? You can't put all your eggs in one basket. You have got to diversify. Diversification is important. It's critical to the 5 steps to diversify. You have got to diversify. I don't even have to ask you if you've heard this. Everybody in this room has heard this. Vertical head nod. Yes, Wiz. Who is lying to you, and who told you to diversify? This guy. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been lied to by this guy. How many of you have seen The Wolf of Wall Street or Boiler Room, or even the movie Wall Street with Bud Fox? All right, boys, pick up the phones. Let's dial the little old ladies in tennis shoes. Hey, Mrs. Smith, I know I got you into Celios yesterday. Get out of that because I got another hot. Why, folks? It's churn. It's called churn. That's an SEC term. Churn. Cha-ching, cha-ching. I remember, folks, when I started trading, it was like $250 commission or something like that. Remember those days? Ladies and gentlemen, it's brokerage fees. Brokers. Whenever you use the term broker, I don't care if it's yacht, real estate, trading, delete the word broker and insert the word commission. Ladies and gentlemen, they want you to diversify. They want you in as many names as possible. I don't know about this stock. Well, get into it. Okay, if you say so. Cha-ching. Now, don't even type it in the chat box right now, all of you that are about to go, well, Wiz, I trade through Robinhood, I don't pay a commission. Or Tradier. Folks, if you play poker and you don't know who the idiot is at the table, it's you. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're not paying your broker, you aren't the customer. The customer is Ken Griffin at Citadel. The customer is Stevie Cohen at SAC Capital, or Point 72, whatever his firm is called now. Folks, payment for order flow. You ain't the customer. They don't care about you, as you've seen with Robinhood. So, ladies and gentlemen, you've been lied to. It's brokerage firms. I'm a fighter pilot, and I speak directly. Diversification is for stupid people. Well, that's a little rude. You don't know me. All right, well, let's have an older, wiser man be nicer. Diversification is a protection against ignorance. It makes very little sense for those who know what they're doing. Well, that's a little nicer way of Wiz saying diversification is for stupid people. There are stupid people in the world, trust me. So if you're diversified, you don't know what you're doing. The only stock you need to own for the rest of your existence on this planet is Amazon. Amazon. Ladies and gentlemen, it is diversified in and of itself. It's the Death Star. Let's just get into numbers first before we actually get into some other stuff. If you had hopped me in a time machine and said, hey, man, back here when Wiz is trading as a fighter pilot, that there would be a company that would grow an average of 30% a year, I would have mortgaged the wife and kids and bought all of it with both hands. Didn't have any kids at the time, but I still would have mortgaged them. Ladies and gentlemen, the numbers are obscene. This has kind of slowed down a little bit. Excuse me, but guess what? That's the law of large numbers. When you become a massive Death Star, obviously the growth is going to slow down a little bit, but it prints money. So the growth has been obscene. And as this thing does this hockey stick, what happens? It takes people out or buys them, and they become part of the Borg. So the math is obscene. I remember years ago, AWS didn't even exist. What's AWS? Amazon Web Services. Andy Jassy, the current CEO, and Jeff Bezos made it up in their condo. AWS, ladies and gentlemen, is Microsoft. What also, North America, International, AWS. What's not on this screen that I got to update? Amazon Prime. It's its own net. They have a Netflix. They have a Microsoft. I mean, folks, they are everything Amazon touches. They either take over or are the largest. So, how about this chart? This chart, ladies and gentlemen, and not to get too political, which is hard for me, Democrats hate this chart. Why? If you delete the word Amazon up here, let's get rid of it, and I want you to look at this chart. If you asked old Wiz if you would get bullish on this chart, I'd go, all right, let me take a look. Sales. Oh, my God, they're obscene. Free cash flow. That's kind of a big delta between sales and cash flow, but the healthy cash flow. Profit. I'd look at this screen and go, short it. It's going to zero. It'll be out of it's what a stupid company. And I'd be broke. Why? And why did you say Democrats hate this chart? Ladies and gentlemen, what does Jeff Bezos... he's not the CEO. Okay, folks. The only reason Jeff Bezos is not the CEO is because during COVID, him, Mark Zuckerberg, what's his name, from Twitter, Jack Dorsey, and then the Google CEO. Remember those four guys getting excoriated in their testimony in front of Congress? I guarantee you that after he closed his Zoom window to get off that destruction brief, Jeff Bezos looked and said, dude, you're the CEO now. I'm done. You can get your ass handed to you. But Jeff Bezos has always said about Amazon, folks, what? Profit, dividend. What are you, insane? If I make $1, if Amazon makes $1, a dividend, what a stupid concept. I'm going to take that dollar and I'm going to put it right back into the company. I'm going to buy a new airplane. I'm going to put a competitor out of business. I'm going to innovate. I'm going to buy more trucks. I love it. So when Democrats are like, they don't pay any, because they don't make any money. They make a shitload of money, but they do what with it? They hire more people. What a brilliant concept. So, folks, when you look at an Amazon and go, well, it doesn't make a lot of profit. Oh my God, are you serious? It makes a lot of profit, but it does something with it. You want a company like that. JG with a small account trading Wiz's Amazon trades netted $8,900. When? In a week. Kristen, you guys are amazing. I trade a smaller account and have done 22 Amazon trades this year for $31,000 in profit. Christine, month-to-date profits on Amazon, 107 grand, with more to go. Thanks, Wiz, for all your expertise and guidance doing day trades and short calls to protect my Amazon profits, learning from the best. And she made me look like an idiot. And in 3 days, I made 90 grand on short calls against my 30 contracts using Wiz's guidance. From small accounts to large accounts, solo Amazon is doing great. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say everything is absolutely always perfect just trading Amazon. What are the risks of trading just a single name? Anybody ever hear of a small mom and pop called Lehman Brothers? Anybody ever? I got to update these slides. Bear Stearns, Jim Cramer. Love Jim Cramer, right? Bear Stearns is safe at $70. I'd put my money there. It's safe. 4 days later, it was at zero. The next slide needs to be SVB, Silicon Valley Bank. Jim Cramer, $320 stock. I love it. Zero. So, ladies and gentlemen, I could spend the rest of our time together going through the graveyard of stocks that have gone to zero. Pets.com owned a stinky sock and a URL. Enron didn't even own the building they were in. They were a middleman of electricity. The point is, stocks can go to zero. It's physically possible that a stock can go to zero. Is it physically possible that Amazon can go to zero? Yes. Okay, Wiz. And no. Wait, it can't be both. Ladies and gentlemen, oh, and there's another one. FTX go to I forgot I put this slide in here. So I think last solo Amazon brief last quarter when we closed full throttle and I did a solo Amazon brief, this was going on. So there you go. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, Amazon owns things. They own things. They don't have a stinky sock or a middleman of electricity or paper, Lehman Brothers and Bear Stearns. I used to do consulting part-time down at south of Miami International at an Amazon fulfillment center. It was an aircraft carrier. It made an aircraft carrier look calm. Look at this. Years ago, very long time ago, I flew for FedEx. I left because I hated the night stuff, went to American, 9/11, first day, gone. Wall Street instead. I got a buddy, he moved over to management, suit, with Jeff Bezos, Amazon, right? Yeah, I'm like, yeah, it's good company. He's like, well, I heard from my buddy at GE Aircraft Leasing. They're renting 5 airplanes. I'm like, he's going to do it? Wow. My buddy's like, what? Put you out of business. Now who's laughing? Amazon is shipping cargo for outside customers to compete with FedEx and UPS. Amazon poised to pass UPS and who was right? I was right. Amazon is larger than FedEx and UPS, and they're flying some of their cargo now. Now, that should make your skin crawl if you hate the guy, and it should kind of make you chuckle if you don't hate the guy. I don't care how you feel about the guy. Why is he in your presentation, Wiz? Political. So, stocks can go to zero, but there's also what risk? Does anybody remember Donald Trump waking up one morning or not going to bed, depending on who you believe, grabbing his cell phone and doing, Amazon's a monopoly. Somebody needs to do something about it. This is awful. Stock did what? It went down a little bit like, holy shit. The president tweeting about Amazon, we're in trouble. What happened? Nothing. 2 years later, last year of his presidency, grabbed his cell phone again. Washington Post, awful, Amazon monopoly needs to be broken up. What did the stock do? Went up. So there's political risk too, not from just only the White House, but the FTC and the DOJ and blah, 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 blah. Ladies and gentlemen, let me be very, very clear. The last time I checked, depending on the price of the stock, Jeff Bezos is one of the richest dudes on the planet. Last time I also checked, the richest dude on the planet probably has 1 or 2 attorneys on staff, right? I'm old enough to remember Standard Oil. I'm old enough to remember Microsoft. I'm old enough to remember AT&T. The time frame from Uncle Sam going, you know what? We're going to look into see if you're a monopoly, and like making a recommendation is 5-10 years. And right now, Amazon is like Mercury, not Freddie Mercury, like the compound. Meaning, if you smash it, it's going all over the place. If you tried to break up Amazon, it would create like 12 little monopolies. All right, Amazon Air, Amazon Prime, Amazon Pharma, Amazon this, AWS. So you're kind of screwed. What am I doing? I'm briefing you on potential risks. That's my job as an instructor pilot, to brief you on stuff. Hey, here are the benefits, here are the risks. So here are some of the potential risks of trading just one name. Uncle Sam could wake up one day and say, we're coming after you, Amazon. But I hope to live a long and fulfilling life and have some grandkids. It ain't going to happen in our lifetime. Okay. So, and I'm going to tell you something, folks. I'm bipolar. I'm going to tell you how I feel as Wiz. I can't stand Amazon. I can't stand Jeff Bezos. He's your typical limousine liberal. Didn't do anything under Trump. And then when Biden won, he's like, hey, Mr. President, congrats. And I'm standing by to use my planes and everything to distribute vaccines. We're here for you. I'm like, what a scumbag. Really? Then, since I'm bipolar, I'm going to act like Gordon Gekko. I don't care how you feel, Wiz, about Jeff Bezos or Amazon. You want a friend, get a dog. I'm going to print money with Amazon, okay? So what are the benefits? We talked about the risks. Here's the potential downfalls of just trading Amazon. What are the benefits? Folks, you trade the same name, and you're potentially going to profit no matter what direction Amazon goes, up, down, or sideways. And now if you're sitting here going, wait a minute, I get it if you make money as Amazon goes up. How do you make money going down or sideways? That tells me, if you're scratching your head, you don't trade options, and I'm going to teach you how to do it. As an options trader, we can potentially make money up, down, or sideways. Matter of fact, I prefer down because volatility goes up and premiums go up. But I don't like a massively down market because Americans are getting hurt, right? A lot of people aren't smart and know what they're doing, and their 401k turns into a 101k. But that's why I exist, to teach you how to do it. So, again, I'm bipolar. Wiz, I feel bad when the market goes down and people get hammered. Gordon Gekko, Wiz, loves it. Love blood in the street. I'll make money off your stupidity. So if you're just trading a solo stock, you stay focused on the news and events that impact what? That stock. Instead of a bunch of different stocks and ETFs, you're going to become an expert in Amazon, reducing time spent where? On other positions. Why do you have the F4 cockpit back up, Wiz? Because I'm going to tell you a little story. Orthopedic surgeon buddy of mine. Became good friends. He flies, I fly. Hey, Wiz, I need help trading. I hear you're really good at it. Okay, man, thanks for the compliment. Met him at a Starbucks. Back before I hated Starbucks. And he boots up his laptop, spins the computer around so I can look at his brokerage account and see what's going on. And I passed out. I hit my, almost died. Hitting my head. You ready for this, folks? When I looked at his brokerage account, it was an F4 Phantom. He had 33 positions in his portfolio. This is an orthopedic surgeon, office hours, surgery, Wiz in between like procedures. I'm looking at my brokerage thing. I'm like, oh my God, dude. And he didn't. You ready for this? I'm like, what? He tried to start briefing me. Well, I think this one's a pot stock. I'm like, did you just use the word I think? This one's a surgical stock. A buddy of mine got me into it. It's down like 50%. When it gets back up, I'll get out of it. I'm like, Doc, yeah, you're a doc, right? You're smart. Yeah. Do you know the percentage it has to go up for you to get back to break even? I'm like, stop talking. Shut up. I don't want to hear anything else about your portfolio because it makes no sense to me. Folks, I do this for a living. I have literally about 3 positions. Long-term bullish on Amazon, psychedelics, and then I trade the hell out of the S&P 500. Anything, folks, on the picture of that Chicago trading firm I worked at, we had a research desk, and the desk was about 22 people, meaning like a research team area. These analysts had to know like 2 or 3 companies like better than their own body. Do you know how many times they got shit wrong? I remember going over that desk a couple times like, dude, you weren't even close on the earnings or whatever, man. This is all you're supposed to eat, breathe, and sleep, and you got this shit wrong? So tell me, Mr. and Mrs. Retail Trader on this brief, How the hell, unless you're sitting here 24/7, can you be an expert in more than a couple of names? Don't. You can't. I've been doing this for decades, folks. I've been doing this for over 30 years. And I'm telling you, the biggest issue that a lot of retail trader have is too many positions. Really? This is what you need to do. Is that true? Oh, AMC's halted because of Amazon? No way. Oh my God, let's go look at this real quick. Get out of here. See, look at this. Thank you, Pam, for the intel. Ladies and gentlemen, breaking news. And my cell phone's over there, so maybe that's why I didn't see this. But allegedly, Amazon might be taking over AMC and the stock's halted. It's up 12%. Now it's trading again. Whoa, I love that. Look at that. In the middle of a solo Amazon brief, what I tell you happens. They come in and they acquire. So folks, simplify your trading cockpit with one stock, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, that is all you need to have. Now, if you're sitting here going, you know what, Wiz, I'm sorry. Great brief. You don't have to be sorry about that. But they dug their fangs into me, and I have to diversify. I just can't, man. I can't just trade Amazon. You ready for this? Here is your diversification. We also trade XLY. It's an ETF. It's the consumer discretionary ETF. Ladies and gentlemen, what's the number one holding of XLY? About a quarter of this ETF is Amazon. Just like shrimp are a vehicle for eating cocktail sauce, the XLY is a vehicle for trading Amazon. You want to talk about diversification? Let's go. Amazon, duh. Tesla, Home Depot, McDonald's, Nike, Starbucks, Lowe's, Target, Booking, TJX. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have been lied to and you still believe in the lies, trade XLY. I have to diversify. It's done. Not only can you trade Amazon, but you're going to diversify by trading Amazon, Tesla, and all those names. Awesome. You're welcome. So how do we target Amazon and XLY for max profit? Step one, I'm going to show you in about 2 minutes my brokerage account where the other day we're going to fly out into the future. We're going to hop in our joint strike fighter, go the speed of light out about 2.5 years in the future. We can do that with options. We can hop in our time machine, go out 2 years into the future and be bullish or bearish, up or down, and establish what we call a base position, or if you're a Marine, a beachhead. We're going to establish a base position with either a tactic, not a strategy. There's no such thing as option strategies. They're tactics, with synthetic stock, with a protective put, or a long call diagonal. Notice what's in parentheses, protective put. I never walked out to that F-18 Hornet and said, hey, Chief, pull the ejection seat out. Why, Lieutenant? Because I'm awesome. I'm not going to need that today. That would have been the day I crashed and died. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to teach you as an option trader to be managing risk. So, step one, fly out into the future, get bullish. I hope, and hope ain't a strategy, but folks, 2 years into the future, a lot of the crap that's going on is fixed. We got to hope. You have to hope. All right, after we do that, Wiz, I got my long-term bullish. Here's 2 trades right now, folks. Long-term bullish on Amazon out into the future. Front month. What's a front month? You're sitting in a front month. March, April, May. We're going to trade the front months. There's another trade. So now you got 2. Now you're busy. But it's the same name. Step 2, trade the front months. Hey, man, Amazon's going up. Awesome. We'll do some bullish spreads or just buy some calls. Very basic. Uh-oh, Amazon's going down. Who cares? Uh-oh. We'll do bearish spreads or buy some puts. Hey, man, Wiz, Amazon's just moving sideways. Guess what? As an options trader, I'm going to teach you can make sideways money. It's a tactic called an iron condor. We have one on right now. I don't know why I'm talking like Trump and move my hands like that. Anyway, all right, let's go do that. So right now in the solo Amazon portfolio, look at that, man. Look at AMC, folks. Thank you for that intel, Pam. That is funny. let me go over to my Pam did check out. This is our lifetime group. Check out AMC rumor Amazon buying. So I'm going to put that in there. I'm going to put this also in the hunters. So these are two investment clubs. We're going to talk solo Amazon, but if you're in our Max Afterburner Lifetime group, you get access to everything. But these are my investment clubs, the hunters and the Max Afterburner group. Look at AMC ripping higher as the S&P 500 is imploding right now. Look at the S&P 500 today. There we go, off the cliff. We did a live trade brief earlier in the day where I said 39.50, man. It is a magnet down to 39.50. Here we go. Next stop, 39.31 down here at the at that 200-day moving average. Ripster 47. Okay, cool. Thanks for the intel. All right, let's go look. This is our solo Amazon portfolio. Let's go look at our position month to date. It's 28 days in March, 26 grand. If you'll allow me to round up, 27. Almost $27,000 in a month trading Amazon. Not unlimited risk or anything like that. Very slow, steady, disciplined positions. Here's one of them. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, in our solo Amazon portfolio, we have a synthetic stock that's up $4,700. It's up 17%. And look at the trade. Look at when let me click analyze. Look at when it expires. January of 2025, I hopped in my joint strike fighter and I flew all the way out into the future and got bullish. Now, I don't want to lose a lot of people because I don't want to sit here and brief you on a synthetic stock trade. You get an hour to an hour and a half, depending on how long I love to talk, which I don't, of learning this tactic. Right. And I'll give you a high level view of it in a second here, but I want to show you how we're bipolar right now on Amazon. So we are long-term bullish with this position. I think I put this on about a month ago. It's up $4,700. If, as I believe, over the next 2 years, Amazon keeps kind of grinding out and heading back up, this could potentially be a six-figure trade. Back in the day, before the world almost ended from a scandemic, our synthetic stocks, as Amazon did this, would be up 150 grand on an initial investment of about 5 grand. 5 grand at the beginning, and 2.5 years later, if everything's going well and you don't have a scandemic, you could have a potential six-figure profit. Slow and steady wins the race. This isn't day trading. This isn't swing. This is nice, disciplined, bullish a couple years out into the future. And then we sell weekly options against it. Let me just show you right now an example of that. Let me bring up this ticket again and show you the trade. So right here, ladies and gentlemen, I'll explain this real quick. There's your protective put. And here, that call and that put, it's 100 call and 100 put. That's the synthetic stock. That put right there is the protective put. And in the middle right here, you see March 31st. That's Friday. We sold short calls. So every week we bring in about $500 as a nice little rent. We bring like $500 a week in rent in as the underlying Amazon synthetic stock goes up. Now, if you kind of follow that, welcome aboard, because I'm going to spend an hour teaching you about synthetic stocks. So that's called a synthetic stock position with a protective put. Paul, absolutely. You can do this with XLY. You can do a synthetic stock trade on any position. Synthetic stock is great, folks, because if you can't afford buying the stock, I can't buy 100 shares of Amazon. I'm going to show you how to do it cheap with an option, right? That's why options exist. With a piece of paper, I can control 100, 1,000 shares of Amazon, fill in the blank. But 99.9% of all options contracts are never exercised. I'm going to get out of this thing 2 years into the future and take my money and run. So there's your long-term bullish. When you join today, our next solo Amazon brief, which we do every Monday at 10 a.m., I'll show you a new one of these. I do this one right now that's on the screen. There you go. There's a free trade. You just made money. the window that you're looking at me in, there's a little camera icon on the top. Take a screenshot of this and look into it. But this is your synthetic stock, but I don't want to waste too much time because I want to get to the next position we have, which is the front month. Right now, I have kind of an earnings trade on Amazon, and it's called an iron condor. It's a range-bound tactic. So this trade is out a month from now. And let me just bring up the chart. Why'd I do a month from now? Because a month from now-ish, Amazon has earnings. Amazon, ladies and gentlemen, tends to channel going into earnings, meaning, first of all, the company and the heavies in the company enter what's called a quiet period. We're not allowed to make any really big announcements or talk about stuff. So usually the stock settles down before earnings, and then earnings come out, and then it freaks out up or down. So we have a range-bound trade. As long as Amazon stays, and I'll show you the range, as long as Amazon stays, I call it a football trade. Let me just bring up this. I call it a football trade because this is the uprights, right? That green thing here and here, this is a football trade. Right now, that dotted line is Amazon. As long as this dotted line stays in between the uprights, we potentially make a max profit of $3,900 in a month. Okay. Now, I don't, and I'll teach you this in the Iron Condor training, I don't trade this Iron Condor as an Iron Condor. I trade it as two individual spreads, a bear call spread, which is the roof, and a bull put spread, which is the floor. So it's technically, all of them together, it's called an Iron Condor. But let me actually ungroup these or take them apart and just show you what an Iron Condor looks like separated. It's two separate trades. So let me bring this up and let me hit grouping, and I'm going to pull these apart. So there is the bull put spread. Now, see right here, we have a bull put spread right there, the 93.94, and a bear call spread, the 104, 105. So we put this trade on yesterday. So the bear call spread's already making money. Why? Because Amazon's going down a little bit. And the quote bear put spread or bull put spread is losing, quote, a little bit of money. So I'm going to teach you in the solo Amazon service that we can dogfight, right? Do some air-to-air combat with Amazon as it moves up and down in the life of this trade. If Amazon starts imploding a little bit before earnings, we close the ceiling. Yay, we made money on it. Let's close it. If it starts to go up a little bit, we close the basement, the floor. Hey, the bull put spread's making money. So, as this thing moves in here, see, it can be range bound and you're making money. This isn't hard, folks. Trust me. I'm a poor kid, Irish Catholic kid from South Jersey, 6 kids, political science major. I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed. This isn't that hard. You just a little bit of brain power at the beginning to get the tactics down, and then, all right. And in the service, which I'll show you in a second, I send out a text alert. I send out an email alert. I sent out a text and email alert yesterday for the Amazon service on this Iron Condor. Yeah, I'll show it to you. Here's your other free trade. Here's the bear call spread out a month. Okay. It's the 104, 105 bear call spread. And then the bull put spread that we have on, the floor, so to speak, is the 93, 94. That's the bull put spread. So you got a ceiling, you got a floor. Amazon can jump up and down the whole time going into earnings, and we potentially make a max profit of $334, whatever it was, $3,500. Yep. So perfect. I love doing a solo Amazon brief for free to folks to show you that we're bipolar right now. Long-term bullish with our synthetic stock, short-term neutral with an Iron Condor. Okay. And we can change those tactics, folks. As I'm sitting here watching the S&P melt down on my other screen here, if, breaking news, Jerome Powell, XYZ, if this is going to happen and we roll over, we'll get out of the bull put spread. Get out of the way, right? If something's on a tear, either join it or get out of the way. I mean, if Amazon starts to roll over, close the bull put spread, we might even pound it into the dirt. Let's buy some puts. Let's do a bear put spread. So again, these briefs that I do, these live trade briefs are awesome because we talk through all this stuff tactically. This isn't just a text and email alert with nothing. I brief you on it, just like I'm doing right now in a live trade brief. So I'll tell you how to join here in a couple minutes, but Soon as you join, I strongly recommend you go to the solo Amazon brief that we did yesterday. Go watch the replay and go put on the new trade. So underneath, once you join, underneath member content, you go over to solo Amazon. If you just join solo Amazon, you're not going to see all those options. I run the place, so I have everything available. So there you go. Amazon, pre-earnings, iron condor, and weekly short calls. So there you go. I put a screenshot of everything we did in the brief, from the bull put spread to the bear call spread to the short calls. And I have screenshots of all the trades that I just stepped through with you. And then down at the bottom, there's the replay. You just click it. You watch it when the kids go to bed or sitting on the couch or this weekend or whenever. Watch the replay when you get a chance. Okay? So that's, perfect example of us being long-term bullish and a perfect example of us being short-term neutral. You can be two things in trading in the same name. Okay? All right, perfect. I am right on time to get you out of here. Now I'm going to tell you how to join, folks. So solo Amazon is our, one of our newest live trade briefs. It is not a part of Full Throttle. That's why a lot of you are here, is because, hey, I want to join Full Throttle. Nope. We got our 50 and we closed the doors. You can get in to solo Amazon. And if you're in Full Throttle, solo Amazon isn't a part of that. So you gotta join, and I'll tell you how to join right now. The other live trade briefs that I do Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday in Full Throttle are, if you wanted to do just one of those, they're $167 a month. Solo Amazon is only $97 a month, or it's $897 a year. That's a 25% discount. So let me give you if you want the discount first, folks, it's let me give you the link right now. It's $897 for a year, which is a 25% discount. So if you like discounts, do that one first, and then I'll give you the $97 a month one. If you just want to, let me try this for a couple months to make sure you're not a complete idiot. All right, so there is 25% discount if you do an annual, and here is the monthly, the $97 bucks a month. Let me give you this one. And then let me just give you a quick brief on all of it, what you're going to get. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm very passionate about what I do, man. If I wasn't doing this with you, I'd be sitting here doing this by myself. So I actually enjoy training people and teaching people. It makes my heart smile. So again, solo Amazon, one of our newest briefs, $167 a month usually, or it's $97 a month, or $897 a year. So there's the annual link. I just gave it to you. Hey, Wiz, every Monday at 10 a.m. I work. Well, guess what? 80% of our current members work. They don't attend the briefs live, but I send emails. I send text alerts. Okay. There's an example of a recent text alert with, that's what it looks like. Hey, man, TOPGUN options. Here's this, blah, 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 blah. And then at the same time, an email fires with a screenshot of the trade, and then also with a screenshot of the metrics. Here's how much we're risking. Here's how much we're potentially making. And then the replay. It takes about 30 minutes for the recording to render on my computer and to upload to YouTube. 30 minutes later, the replay is posted. Chris, I'm so geeked. Been a subscriber for almost 3 years now, and this is the first time I've been able to attend live. I only know you from the replays. That's pretty cool. I love that. Today, you're also going to get access to our primary, intermediate, and advanced workbooks. These are your flight manuals, folks. I even go back and read these sometimes to brush off the rust. These are worth their weight in gold. Now, if you're from South Jersey or South Philadelphia, or you're a political science major like me, you're doing some math right now. Okay, $97 a month, which is, we just got back from spring break. We had to spend the night in Vail. There was a bottle of wine it was like cheap. I thought it was $197. I'm like, oh my God. So for less than a bottle of wine, $97 a month, Wiz, for solo Amazon for your first month. No. For all of your months, if you want to stay monthly. Ain't no price increases, ain't no anything. It's $97 a month. Well, wait a minute. If I get manuals that are for $197, if I bought them on your website, yeah, just figure it out. You made $100. These are yours to keep. If you just do solo Amazon for a month for $97 and then call it a day, you're keeping these, man. You made $100. I don't like this offer because I do math. My marketing team likes this offer because they're like, it's called an irresistible offer. I'm like, I call it kind of dumb, and they're like, no, it's irresistible. Okay, I defer to the marketing people. So they're like, throw the manuals in there, even, if they're, I'm like, okay, I trust you. So I trust the marketing people. So there is your irresistible offer. Here's what you get. You're going to get access to the solo brief live every Monday, 10 a.m. Eastern. Did yesterday's. Yesterday's was awesome. Just ask me. Go watch the replay. And you'll get access to the trade, that Iron Condor. Obviously, I spent a lot more time briefing it yesterday because that was to my members and not to free people. So make sure as soon as you join, go watch that replay and look at that Iron Condor. You get the text, the email alerts, you get all those manuals I just talked about, and the Ready Room. The Ready Room is a members-only forum online. If you have a question in between the briefs or anything, you post it in the Ready Room. I get an email that says, hey, Steve just posted in the Ready Room. He's got a question. I go in there and answer it. So you get access to me. That's a hell of a lot to get for $97 a month, folks. Bob closed an Amazon synthetic stock and all my Amazon positions associated with the synthetic stock for $37,000 profit. Goose covered Amazon, $23,800 profit in a month. Wow. Chuck, thank you, Wiz, for the Amazon calls yesterday. I closed 3 contracts at my 30% profit target, cleared $15,000. Also had 6 Amazon calls that also hit 30% for another $50,000. So if you want to test fly, I love it, Wiz. This all sounds really good. Do the monthly, man. TopGunOptions.com/solo-Amazon-monthly. And again, the link is in the chat box. I, as a businessman, would love you in the monthly for the rest of your life. Me, as a good dude, tells you to do the annual because you get a little bit of not a little bit, you get a 25% discount. So again, there's the $97 a month, which I'd love you to stay there forever as a businessman. But as Wiz, being a good dude, there's a discount. There's your annual rate there. Okay, yeah, I'll take questions in a couple seconds here. I'm going to turn into the Flex Seal tape guy right now. But wait, there's more, and it's a good more. When you purchase, you're going to see a pop-up that says, hey, do you want to do the full throttle training for $195? Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the training. The training ain't free, man. I'm not a charity. I run a charity. I'm not a charity. It's only $195. It's 8 training sessions. I see crappy, quote, competitors charge thousands of dollars for their training, which I've watched, which is awful. Some dude in front of a whiteboard, like, back when videotapes existed. I'm like, are you insane that you charge that much for that trash? $195, folks. Building block approach. Wiz, I'm not sure what a call is or a put is. That's why you do this. And even if you know what you're doing, Wiz, I'm a Jedi Master. I've been training. I don't care. The motto of Top Gun is what? You think you're good? We'll make you better. I guarantee you'll pick something different up from me. I go listen to options briefs from buddies and stuff like that because I pick stuff up. Folks, I am always learning. My last flight in the Hornet, I learned something. If you don't learn something new every time you go around, you're doing it wrong. Okay. All right. Total my Amazon trades for November, and I was shocked. Cleared $117,000 in profits this month, just on Amazon. Wow. So grateful to this group for what I've accomplished. A total of 33 trades, mainly spreads, blah, blah, blah. Isn't that awesome? So folks, I'll answer questions. Solo Amazon, usually $167 a month for my other stuff. But since we're only trading Amazon, we're not trading a bunch of other stuff, volatility, this, that, the other stuff, psychedelics. It's cheaper. It's either $897 a year, nice discount, Wiz, you're welcome, or $97 a month. I have a business dinner later this week in Fort Lauderdale. I guarantee you I'm going to have to buy a round of drinks for the clients, and it's going to be a hell of a lot more. So a round of drinks, folks, for 30 days into this service. Ain't no price increase ever. Well, no. If you're at 97, it's 97, but maybe the service goes up in price down the road, but you're locked in at your current price. What I'm getting at is people are like, well, what's the next month? It sneaks, and no, I don't do that shit, folks. It's $97 a month or $897 a year. TopGunOptions.com/solo annual. Folks, if you didn't learn anything from me today, clearly I failed, but you better at least have learned this. Diversify by not diversifying. Simplify your trading cockpit. I didn't mean to offend, but if you were sitting there and felt a little attacked with the 33 positions and my doctor buddy, do you, not me, do you a favor. Was I talking to you? Do you have 7, 8, 9, 15 positions on? I don't know how you do it. If you do it and you do it well, congrats. Give me a call. I'll hire you. Apparently, you're better than me and most people. Some people can do it. Not a lot of people can do it well. I don't sit here for 8 hours a day. I don't sit here for 12. I don't sit here. I sit here for about an hour and a half a day, an hour in a live trade brief, and a half an hour to send out text and email alerts, and I'm gone. Gym, yoga, beach, skiing, living. I don't sit here. I'm not a booger eater, folks. I'm not swing trading. I'll take some S&P 500 sniper shots and leave. And then this thing, man, I can sit and trade anywhere. Simplify your trading cockpit. Do yourself a favor and give yourself a little bit of a debrief and go look through your portfolio and go, could I simplify this thing just by trading Amazon? The answer is yes. All right. My Apple Watch telling me to stand up. We got 5 minutes left. Let's scroll through some of these questions here. Thank you. I appreciate that. Tim, what is recommended account size to do all of your trades in a month? Tim, I can't give you that answer. Couple of reasons. First of all, I'm not a registered investment advisor or broker dealer. I'd go out to lunch with one of those people and they'd look at all your stuff and go, here's what I'd recommend. I can't do that. And I wouldn't do that because I just don't, that's not me. So Tim, we literally have a couple of billionaires here at Top Gun Options who trade for sport. They have a family office that manages your stuff. And we have little old ladies in tennis shoes or retired guys trading a couple grand in a portfolio. So, Tim, I'm going to show you what I am doing. It's like you're getting the eavesdrop on the floor of the SIBO. I'm going to show you my model portfolios, right? If I'm managing a $50,000 model portfolio, I might only be taking $2,500 in risk per trade. If you look at that trade and go, wow, that's too much risk, you do less contracts. Or you look at my trade and go, I can risk more money than that. You do more contracts. I'm glad you asked this question. You, not me, you are the pilot in command of your portfolio, not me. Before I went flying in my F-18 Hornet for 15 years, I took a pen and I signed for the jet. I read the maintenance log, everything that had been done on the airplane, and E. Matthew Buckley, Lieutenant, United States Navy, and the date. Who owned that jet for that next hour and a half mission? I did. So, Tim, I'm going to train you. Out of the hundreds of people in this brief, I guarantee you some people are going to be trading a hell of a lot more than you. Some people are going to be trading a hell of a lot less than you. I can, as a general rule, say, most brokerage firms, I think you can open an account with $1,000. And I strongly, strongly recommend people paper trade, right? You don't read a book on flying the Hornet and run out to the Hornet. That's how you die. You read a book on flying the Hornet, you run to the simulator building. As a pilot, you engine failure, engine this, blah, blah, blah. You do everything in the simulator before you get airborne. So, Zahir, absolutely. Zahir, that's what most people do. I love that you said that. Do $97 and then email us in a month and said, dude, I want to upgrade to the annual. I want to save money. Great. Thank you for saying that. I should put that on the slide. Do the 97 for a month and then write us and say, yeah, I'll do the 897 now. That's a great idea. A lot of people do the month to month for a little bit and go, all right, this guy's not an idiot and I'm making money and I'm learning stuff annual. So yeah, absolutely. You can do the 97 and then upgrade. I was just getting at the 97's the 97 forever unless you upgrade. We don't do a sneak. Hey, now it's this. Nope. That's awful. Alejandro, any recommendations on trading platforms? I have 401k rolled over to a self-directed IRA. So Alejandro, I love that you asked that because I would go to etrade.com/TopGun. I love the E-Trade platform. Okay. If you're going to learn how to fly a fighter jet, Alejandro, and I'm flying a Hornet, and I'm going to teach you how to fly kind of a fighter jet, I would strongly recommend being in a Hornet. But Alejandro, I traded E-Trade. I think Goose, one of our other instructors, is at Thinkorswim. I got people on Schwab that as many members as we have, there's as many brokerage accounts. So I strongly recommend E-Trade. I love it. It's good for options. It's good to teach. Let me put the link in the chat box there. And if you go to etrade.com/TopGun, you open an account using that link, you get our kind of preferred commission fees. So, John Hull tried to link 3 times, would not load. John, which one? I might have an extra. Here's the annual. Was it the annual? I'll just put both. It's a redirect link. So let me do in the chat box. There's the annual, like the no kidding longer one, but it should work. Let me do this one too. Let me hit enter on this one and that one. This will take you direct to the order page, John Hull. So that's the 97 and the 897. Can people click on those real quick and let me know they're working? I want to make sure I'm not an idiot. Okay, good. John Angelo, Wiz, where do I find the track record for the year? Do you have it on the site? It is on the homepage. If you go to the homepage and scroll down, all of our services are on there. All the trades from I forget what the time frame is. I update them quarterly, so we're getting ready to the end of another quarter here. Right, there you go. So Solo Amazon's right in the middle. You bet. Oh, yeah, it's Q4. So this is because I do quarterly performance. So in a couple days, John, the Q1 performance will be uploaded. You bet. I got here late. What we get, $97 a month. Yeah, Peter, hang on. Let me just go back for $97 a month. You get, and I'll email out the replay, Pete. So for $97 a month or $897 a year, you get text alerts. Let me just get to that slide. You get your manuals that are $197. So you already made $100. There you go. This slide. You get access for $97. You get access to the Solo Amazon live trade brief every Monday at 10. And that is wrong. 10 p.m. Eastern. I'm in bed with my snuggle blanket. It's 10 a.m. What a doofus. 10 a.m. The text and email alerts whenever I see a trade in the Solo Amazon brief. You get the 3 skill-based manuals, and you get access to our ready room. Okay. You also, but here's the end. Wait, for $97 a month, you get all that stuff. I strongly recommend, Peter, you take the $195 upgrade. It's a one-time fee for the full throttle training. You get 8 options briefs. Here's a call, here's a put, here's a bear call spread, here's a synthetic stock. This is on your screen right now is about almost 20 hours of training that other places who suck trade cost thousands of bucks for their training. The money to me is in the practical application. A covered call is a covered call 20 years ago, 20 years from now. The application of it in the live trade briefs is where I charge the money, not these other places that are like, I charge $3,000 for the options training. That's obscene. So that's what you get for $97 a month. And it is it's a lot for $97 a month. So Peter, I'll get you the replay. John O'Riordan, E-Trade is only for America. What about Europe, please? John, get in the ready room when you join. Get into our forum, because I know every once in a while somebody joins like, hey, man, I'm in Europe. And then a bunch of people jump in from Europe and tell you where they trade. I think Schwab. Well, you know what, dude? Just join. I hate saying this, but I know there's threads in the ready room about overseas trading. So, yeah, I think E-Trade might just be American. So you're right. I appreciate that. Larry, absolutely, you can do that. Yep. If you want, just get email support, Larry, support@TopGunOptions, and ask that, and they'll hook you up immediately. Pierre, I'm sorry. I'm Canadian and get slammed with credit card exchange fees. I have US dollar PayPal account. Do you accept PayPal? Pierre, these glasses suck. I swear to God. I can see your name. It's not Pierce. It's Pierre. Yes, we'll take PayPal. It's not on the order page. We can do it. Our support can do it. The same thing for you, Pierre. Just email support@TopGunOptions.com. I feel you, man. The credit card fees it's obscene. So yeah, we'll hook you up. Just email support@topgunoptions.com and say, hey, I was in your solo brief and I want the monthly or the annual, and they'll hook you up. Absolutely. Robbie, for Canadian, look into Home Trust Visa. They don't have exchange fees. There you go, Robbie. Or Pierre. So you got a new squadron mate giving you a heads up. For Canadian, look into Home Trust Visa. They don't have exchange fees. See, I love this, man. Top Gun Options is a squadron, folks. We support each other. We become friends. We do live, events together. They're I think up in Montana. There's like a Top Gun Options chapter. I mean, this is awesome. You're not joining some shotgun blast service. This is why I limit the Full Throttle group to about 50 each quarter, because we like a nice tight knit squadron. I can't stand being in a live trade brief with 1,000 people asking a million. It gives me agita. I'm an instructor. Nobody leaves one of my briefs with a question mark over their head or a clue bird flapping on their shoulder. I will sit here until midnight to make sure you get things if you're not getting it. I can't do that with 1,000 people. So that's why Full Throttle is closed. Maybe next quarter when we open the doors, you can go join Full Throttle Solo Amazon. Cheaper, a lot, it's a gateway drug to join Top Gun Options, if that makes sense. So, they're in the there's a trading platform thread in here and all sorts of stuff. So you can check that out. Yeah, I'll give you the links one more time. This is the $97 a month. And like Zahir said, hey man, can I do this for a couple months and go the annual? Yep. The answer, of course, is yes. And then here is the annual. You save 20-25% by doing the annual, folks. And again, men lie, numbers don't. Are crushing it month to date in our solo Amazon. It was 26,600 a little while ago, but Amazon went down a little bit, and so our Iron Condors. Well, the Iron Condor is looking good. It's the synthetic stock that went down a couple $100. So in his live trade brief, I showed you how we are long-term bullish on Amazon and short-term neutral. We have two tactics going on right now. They're not strategies. Wiz, I hear option strat. No, if you hear anyone use the word option strategy, they're a fool. A strategy is 100,000 feet. A strategy is up here. A strategy is saving for college, short-term income generation, buying a boat in 6 months, managing risk. A tactic, synthetic stock, Iron Condor, supports a strategy. It makes my skin crawl when I hear these people on TV. My favorite option strategy. I'm like, done. Not going to listen to a word you said. If you don't know the difference between a strategy and a tactic, you're an idiot, and I don't want to trade with you. Might be a little harsh, but guess what? It's not harsh. The truth is never harsh. If you thank you for asking. So we're actually shooting. I don't know if it's going to be a documentary. I don't know what it's going to be. But No Fallen Heroes is the name of the foundation, and we use psychedelic assisted therapy to heal our veterans. If you want to watch we took a film crew down to Mexico. You can watch that trailer here, but we recently talked to a studio. Thank you, God. And they're like, yeah, we don't want a documentary. I'm like, oh my God, that's awful news. They're like, we'd love 6 to 8 episodes. I'm like, so I went from panic to profit. I wrote a book. So yes, thank you for asking. And yeah, you can donate on here. I'd appreciate that. We budget about $5,000 per veteran, which is obscene. I'm not going to get into a rant. I can't end a brief with a rant. But ladies and gentlemen, the fact that I'm having to take veterans, first responders, or their families to Mexico or Costa Rica to heal trauma they incurred serving their fellow American is a disgrace. As part of our documentary or series or whatever, we're going to heal Americans in America. I'm done. We're going to Costa Rica one more time in May, and then I want to be here. Full disclosure, I'm an investor in a REIT, a real estate investment trust. It's time to heal Americans in America with things that God, whatever word you want to use, source, creator, earth, Mother Earth, put here for us to heal. Let's end on a high note. We're saving lives. I'm very passionate about my passion. Is helping people learn the trade. Nobody cares more about your money than you. Learn how to do it. My buddy's my financial advisor. Your buddy doesn't care about your money more than you. If he does, you're weird. So that is my passion, but then it morphed into trying to save lives, man. Anywhere from 22 to 44 veterans kill themselves every day. That's obscene, and it's a national heartbreak. And I'm trying to do something about it, man. Veterans at the forefront of the psychedelic medicine movement. I'm sorry I'm talking about this. I should go. We talk about this in accelerated retirement, but somebody asked about the foundation, so I wanted to see. I don't leave until I answer everybody's question. Watch that little trailer. It changed my life. It saved my life. I'm a different human being. I'm a better human being. I'm a better husband. I'm a better father because of this healing. And I'm spreading the word as much as possible. Maybe someday down the road, if you're joining Solo Amazon, you can upgrade and jump over into Full Throttle, and you can see how we're investing in the psychedelic space. I mean, I'm doing it. Here's the win-win. If you can do something as a charitable and save a life, yay. But why wouldn't you invest in it as well, too? This is, if you watch Billions on Showtime, we're Bobby Axelrod without the narcissist sociopathism. We want to heal and save the world. And geez, if you can make money doing it, God really loves you. All right, guys and gals, I appreciate your time today. Sorry I went a little over. One more time, $97 a month is it. That's a bottle of wine for 30 days. Shoot me an email, support at TOPGUN Options Wiz. I'm ready to upgrade. Give me my discount. Great. But the test, so to speak, if you want a trial, is the 30 days, and it ain't free because my time ain't free. Imagine going to a doctor and an attorney for a month and being like, yeah, I don't like anything you said. I'm not going to pay you. That's not how we work. So, all right, I'll get the replay sent out to you in case you did come in here late. I appreciate your time. Looks like we really didn't even lose that many people as I started selling. I can't stand this, guys. I can't stand the sales part of this. This is why with Full Throttle, if you attended or you attend in the future, it's a full week. You join current members in a live trade brief. I don't give you 50 PowerPoint slides. I say, welcome. I'm going to treat you like you're a normal member. Let's go. That sells itself. In our Full Throttle 2 weeks ago when we opened it up, we did like $19,000, $19,000 in profitable trades the entire week. Men lie, trades don't. So you can go watch all the replays if you want of our Full Throttle. Yeah, I'll give you that. It's go.topgun. Go. I didn't think I'd talk about this, but FT replay. Yeah, if you want to go check out what we did in Full Throttle, sure, man. There you go. Yeah, over $19,000 in profitable trades that week. So, all right, good. I appreciate it, man. Thanks for all the. Here you go. Here's the link if you want to go watch the Full Throttle replays from that week. We had a good time. That was a fun week of trading 2 weeks ago. All right, I got to go. Have a great rest of your day. Welcome aboard to all the new Solo Amazon members. This is a good gateway drug to join us in more of the stuff that we do down the road, like the Lifetime Group. I'll brief you on. That's the best hedge fund I've ever seen in 30 years because we're trading our own money. So the Lifetime Group, we can talk about down the road, but check out Solo Amazon first, and we'll talk down the road about maybe other stuff here at TGO. Okay? Thanks for coming. Have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge. Fights on. Namaste and Basi Basi. Welcome aboard.